Hello, welcome to this video on dates of deemed service for the SQE. It's important to know about dates of deemed service for SQE dispute resolution. The dates of deemed service are basically the dates that the court views a party to have received documents during legal proceedings, whether or not the party actually received the document on that date. It's important to know these dates, the dates of deemed service, because they tell us when time limits will begin to run. So a defendant normally has 14 days to respond to a claim form. That 14 days begins from the date of deemed service, not from the date that the defendant actually received the claim form. Now, the rules on dates of deemed service depend on the document that is being sent. So we'll start by looking at the claim form. The claim form uses a single universal rule, and that is that the claim form is deemed served 2 business days after the step required to send it has been carried out. Now, the step required could use a variety of methods of service, so that includes first class post, document exchange, leaving the document in a specified place, personal service, email, fax, and any other method that the court authorizes. So, regardless of the method used, when it's a claim form being sent, the date of deemed service will be 2 business days after. So let's imagine that a claim form is sent using first class post on a Monday. There's no bank holidays in this week. The date of deemed service will be 2 business days after. So the first business day after is Tuesday, the second business day after is Wednesday. The date of deemed service will be Wednesday. In a different scenario, let's imagine a claim form is sent using personal service, again on a Monday. The date of deemed service will remain Wednesday because that's 2 business days after. That's despite the party having received the claim form on the Monday. So it doesn't matter when the defendant received that claim form. What matters is the date that the step required was carried out, and then calculating 2 business days following that. And that is the date of deemed service. It's from the date of deemed service that the defendant's time limit to respond to the claim form begins. So to summarize, claim forms, date of deemed service is always 2 business days after. In contrast, the rules are different for other documents, and other documents includes the particulars of claim, where the particulars of claim is being served separately to the claim form. Now, with a claim form, we saw how it doesn't matter what method of service you use, it's always going to be 2 business days after that's the date of deemed service. But when it comes to other documents, including the particulars of claim, the date of deemed service depends on the method of service that's being used. So we'll start by looking at where a document that's not the claim form is sent using first class post or document exchange. Where either of these 2 methods is used, this document will be deemed served 2 days after the step required to serve that document was carried out, as long as the day that it lands on is a business day. If the day it lands on isn't a business day, then you need to move to the first business day following that. So let's look at an example, and also to highlight how 2 days after, as long as it lands in a business day, otherwise moving to the first after, is different to 2 business days as the claim form uses. So let's imagine it's a Friday and a particulars of claim is posted using first class post on that Friday. The date of deemed service is firstly 2 days after. So Saturday's the first day after, Sunday's the second day after. but it needs to land on a business day. Sunday is not a business day. So we move forwards to the first business day following that, which is Monday. So the data deemed service for particulars of claim that is sent on a Friday will be Monday. In contrast, if a claim form was sent on that same Friday, we'd use the 2 business days rule. The first business day after is Monday, the second business day after is Tuesday. The date of deemed service for a claim form sent on the same day would be Tuesday. So we can see how the claim form uses 2 business days, and other documents where they're being sent by first class post or DX uses 2 days, as long as that day is a business day that it lands on. Otherwise the first business day after that. It's a bit of a mouthful. And we can see that 2 business days can lead to different outcomes to 2 days. So it's important to bear that distinction in mind. Now, that's first class post and document exchange. I talked about the other methods of service earlier, such as personal service, leaving the document in a specified place, email or fax. These methods could also be used to serve other documents. Now, the rules on data deemed service for other documents where any of these methods are being used is different to where it was first class post or DX. So where any of these 4 methods are used, then the data deemed service is going to be the same day, as long as the step required was carried out before 4:30 p.m. on a business day. If it wasn't, so maybe it wasn't a business day it was carried out on, or it was after 4:30 p.m, then you move to the first business day following, and that will be the data deemed service. So let's take a look at some examples. In the first example, personal service is used to serve a particulars of claim at 3 p.m. on a Monday. The Monday is not a bank holiday. The data deemed service of that particulars of claim will be the same day. It's a business day and it was served before 4:30 p.m. Imagine instead if personal service was used at 5 p.m. Well, it's too late at that point for the data deemed service to be that same day. It had to have been before 4:30 p.m. So we move to the first business day following. That's going to be the Tuesday. So the data deemed service of the particulars of claim in this case is going to be Tuesday, because it was personally served after 4:30 p.m. So that's a brief overview of data deemed service. I'll summarize again. If it's a claim form that's being sent, then the data deemed service is always 2 business days after. If it's any other document, and that includes particulars of claim where it's being served separately to the claim form, then the data deemed service depends on the method used. If it's first class post or document exchange, it's 2 days after, as long as that 2 days after is a business day. If it's not, you move to the first business day following that. If any other method of service is used, so personal service, leaving in a specified place, email, fax, then it can be the same day as long as that day is a business day and it's served before 4:30 p.m. If a question comes up on data deemed service, it can be really easy marks in the exam. Or you might even have data deemed service form part of a larger question. Regardless of what you get in the exam, it is important that you know about data deemed service. It is a fundamental part of SQE dispute resolution. Hope you found this video useful. Please consider liking and subscribing, and look out for the next video.